Today we're gonna make something special. This bread is called Khachapuri. It is a traditional Georgian bread, filled with cheese, butter and a soft egg yolk. It originated from sailors, so the shape of it is supposed to represent a boat. Molten cheese represents the sea, and the egg yolk represents the sun. But most importantly, it represents ooey gooey deliciousness. So what you're supposed to do when it comes out of the oven, add the knob of butter while it's still hot, let it melt a little bit, then tear off a piece of dough, dip it in, and enjoy. And this is a beautiful bread, it's so delicious. I really encourage you to try to make this. Super easy too. So keep watching this video and you'll learn all about it. And you'll find all the weights and measurements of the ingredients down in the description box. First, let's see what equipment we'll use. Right, for best results, bake them on a thick, solid, hot surface, like this cast iron skillet. If you don't have one, just use a tray. And then we'll just need a bowl, scales, scraper, temperature probe, a brush, and a rolling pin. Now for the ingredients. For the dough, you'll need strong white bread flour, some water, yeast, salt, sugar, and some oil. Then for the filling, I use some grated cheddar, grated mozzarella, and some crumbled feta, an egg, and a little bit of flour. And then to finish the bread, we'll use another egg, a couple knobs of butter, and some chopped parsley. Right, so before we begin, I know my kitchen's around 25 degrees C, so I want my water to be around 23 or so. So get your bowl, add your water, the yeast, the sugar, and the oil, and give it all a good mix. You want to try and hydrate the yeast and dissolve the sugar, because it will be a lot easier to do it now than when you're trying to work the dough later on. And once you're happy with that, add your flour and the salt. And then just grab your scraper and give it a good mix until you don't see any more dry flour. And then tip it out on your table. This is a relatively dry dough, so we'll use a regular kneading method. What I like to do is press down and forwards with the heel of my right hand, then using the fingers of my left hand, I fold the piece of dough under the heel of my right hand, then turn and repeat. It will be a bit sticky in the beginning, but it will start getting smoother and a lot less sticky as you go on. In total, this should not take you more than 5 minutes, so it's quite quick. As you can see, the dough is nice and smooth. Now we can collect it into a bowl, place it in our bowl and start proofing. And you should always take the temperature of your dough after mixing. 26-27 degrees C is just about right for this. If your dough is cooler or warmer, you might want to extend or reduce the proofing time. But at this temperature, I'll proof it for 45 minutes. And then I'll give it a fold. Now folding achieves a few things in this dough. First, it will degas the dough. Second, it will create more layers in the gluten structure, thus making it stronger. And third, it will equalize the temperature in the dough. It might have cooled down on the outside, so as we fold it, we distribute that temperature evenly, thus giving us an even fermentation. So to perform a fold, just tip your dough out on your table, smooth side down, spread it out a little bit, then fold the edges over the middle, going around in a circle until you reach the point where you started. Then turn it smooth side up again and tighten it against the table. Then you can seal up the bottom a little bit and place it back into the bowl, smooth side pointing up. Cover it up, we'll leave it to proof for another 45 minutes. And you should really see it puffing up now. It has definitely doubled in size during its second proof. So now we are ready to divide the dough. This recipe only makes 2 Khachapuris, so I'm not going to use my scales, just going to eyeball it. Or if you are making more than 2, then I would suggest weighing the dough pieces for more consistent results. And as you would have noticed, I'm not using any flour because this dough is not very sticky. So just using your scraper, cut the dough, and I will shape it into tight balls. And similarly to the folding step, all you need to do is place the dough smooth side down, fold the edges over the middle, going around in a circle until you reach the point where you started, then tighten them against the table. I like to proof my dough balls on a tray or on a plate. That way I can move them around if it gets too warm or too cool in my kitchen. Also, because I will bake these one by one, this allows me to place the other dough ball in the fridge whilst the first one is baking, to prevent it from overproofing. So now, just cover up your dough balls, leave them out to ferment for another 30 minutes. And whilst your dough is proofing, preheat your oven to 230 degrees C, no fan, and preheat your baking vessel. And while we wait, we can knock up the filling as well. So mix the 3 cheeses, the egg and the flour, until they are well combined and all the ingredients are distributed evenly. And that's the filling, simple as that. And as you can see now, the dough balls have expanded quite a lot, and they are definitely ready to be baked. As I said before, I'll work with these one by one, so the other one will go in the fridge for now. Generously flour your table and get a rolling pin. Start patting your dough out with your fingertips. We want to try and work this into an oval shape. So after you have spread it out with your hands a little bit, start using the rolling pin. If the dough is not stretching, don't force it. You'd be better off leaving it to relax a little bit if it doesn't budge. You can also lift it up and stretch it using the weight of it, as if you were stretching a pizza dough. Just try to make it into an oval shape about ½ centimeter thick. This might take a little practice, but you know, it doesn't matter if your khachapuri is a little bit wonky, it will still taste delicious. And as you can see, I'm not the best at rolling it out into an oval shape, but it is about the thickness that I wanted it to be. And now we can start shaping it. So all you need to do is fold the edge over, press it down, and keep rolling. Do maybe a 2 centimeter overlap, and then roll it over once again. And then a third time. And once you finish with the top part, roll up the bottom. And you want the middle to be a little bit thicker than the edges, because we will be overlapping the corners there. So roll them until they meet, and then we will twist them up and seal them together. And that's your boat. Looks kind of like a boat, right? I can stretch it out a little bit more, open it up. It's up to you if you want to make it more oblong or more round. I'm about happy with this, so I'll just place it on my parchment paper and start filling it. Now, as I said before, a thick solid surface like a cast iron skillet or a pizza stone would work best for this, but you can bake them on a tray. In any case, use a bit of parchment paper. It will help you in handling the dough and also will prevent it from sticking. This contains quite a lot of cheese, so I'm literally using half of the filling that I made. It's definitely like a meal in one, so you'd be eating this on its own. Now, using a spoon, spread out the filling evenly and try to not get any on the edges. That looks about right. It's ready to go in the oven. So I'll get my hot pan out and carefully lift it up, trying to not slide it off the paper, place it in my pan and get it in the oven. And we'll bake this bread for 13 minutes. And after the 13 minutes, we need to do a little finishing touch. Using a fork or a spoon, make a hole in the cheese filling and then add the egg. And we'll continue baking it for another 2 minutes. You want to cook the egg yolk a little bit, but you still want it to be runny. And look at that, it's beautiful, right? It's definitely best eaten while still hot. So add the knob of butter, brush the edges with butter just to give them that little shine. I mean, we're using loads of butter anyway, it's full of cheese, so just go for it. And then let the butter melt a little bit. Sprinkle the whole thing with parsley. I don't think the herbs are traditional, but I just like to add a little bit greenery. And dig in while it's still hot. And now go and make this right now. You can thank me later. And as always, if you have any questions or suggestions, write them down in comments. If you are new to this channel, consider subscribing. I have a lot more delicious recipes on my channel, and I post new videos every Wednesday and Sunday. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.